takes 21 long hours to fly to Sydney, but the ideal antidote to feeling cramped in a plane for that long is the great feeling of light and space you get as soon as you arrive in town. In spite of what you might have heard about Australia, there is some culture here. But I'm looking for an adventure outside. So I'll be starting off at a Sydney classic. Or is that a Sydney cliché? Obviously, the Sydney Harbour Bridge is one of the icons of the city. And I have to say, as walking experiences go, this bridge is not really a great deal of fun because it's so noisy and you've got to look at Sydney through bars. So we're not going to go over the bridge, over the spans, but we are going to go up this so-called pylon here to get a good look at the city that way. The Harbour Bridge has joined North and South Sydney since the 1930s, and its castle-like pylons anchor the bridge to the shore so it doesn't fall in the water. The pylons offer some dramatic views of the city, and for just £4.50, it's a brilliant starting point for my exploration of Sydney. It's great to come up high and get a good sense of perspective on a whole city. And it's certainly a lot cheaper and quicker than doing a walk over the bridge or taking a helicopter ride. You know, being up here on this pylon lookout, you can certainly get a great sense of how important the shape of the harbour is to the nature of Sydney. So it's time I get my arse on the water, but I'm not going to take just any old boat. Oh no. Port Jackson is one of Sydney's biggest open spaces, and Kayak Sydney offered tours of the harbour, giving you the best views of the city's best sights. It's relaxing, illuminating, exercising, and awesome. Patrick, what do you like best about living in Sydney?
To be able to get out on the water and have the whole, have all this space around you, all this open space, away from the crowds. You can go anywhere, land on beaches.
Because even though it's sort of empty right now, this is the heart of the city, effectively, isn't it? Right. You know, doing this job, I take a lot of city tours, and I have to say that this is the best one so far. Maybe because I'm so involved in it, or maybe it's just the motion of the ocean. The tours cost around £30 for 2 hours and have just a hint of danger. As I put my hands and let them swing around here in the water...
You're pretty safe. I mean, we've got...
No sharks?
No, there's been... ever recorded in Sydney Harbour 30 shark attacks.
Oh, just 30?
30, that's right. That's ever since, the British first came. Not one of the people attacked was called Toby. So therefore the odds, I think, would be extremely small.
Well, I don't know. There's always a first time for everything, isn't there? If you're British, this town can seem weirdly familiar. It's not only the buildings, it's also as if they ran out of fresh names to call things. Sydney is a city made up of neighbourhoods, all with their own character, if not their own names. You can visit Hyde Park, King's Cross and Paddington. But I'm not here to relive England's glory. I'm going to take part in a very Australian ritual, one that requires an animal sacrifice. Perhaps you're wondering why this rather unexciting building, the Sydney Fish Market, is right here behind me. I'll tell you why, because we've got a big day planned today. We are going to go on a motorcycle and we're going to have a barbecue. So we've come here to buy some fish. This is like an interactive, hands-on aquarium, and if you're a food lover like me, it's practically a religious experience. If you're a fish, it sucks. It's the second largest seafood market in the world, and I come across fish I've never seen before, let alone tasted. What are those?
These are Moreton Bay bugs.
It's sort of like a lobster without the claws, in a way, isn't it?
He is, and the taste is similar to a lobster. There's just less meat on them. Some of our lively mud crabs there, you'll lose a finger.
That's so brilliant. It's still having a go.
They're renowned as being very aggressive species.
If this delicious saltwater smorgasbord makes you hungry, they'll cook you something on the spot. But I have to have my barbie on the beach, and I'm getting there on a motorbike. OK, got my bag of fish. Just need to find my biker. I'm guessing... Silvio?
Toby, how are you, mate? How are you?
Good to see you. Very well, thank you. So, I don't understand where you're going to sit. Wild Ride offer motorcycle tours in Sydney from around £50 an hour. And it's genuinely exciting. After all, I'm living every middle-aged man's dream, riding the Harley Davidson. Although I'd think twice about giving Silvio too many orders, you can choose where you want to go on the tours. As I imagine it's probably obvious by now, this is absolutely the best way to explore a city quickly. It does feel pretty cool as well. We're heading for Manly, a beach town 8 miles from Sydney, a popular local getaway. It's Friday afternoon, so everyone's come down to have a bit of a barbie on the beach.
Barbie on the beach.
And these are sort of municipal barbecues, is that right?
Yep, anyone can use them.
Australians do a lot of what we do indoors, outdoors, as the weather's great and they don't seem to get as embarrassed so easily. You just feel free on a motorcycle in a way that you don't in a car.
What have you been thinking of for the last couple of hours? And your mind's just blank, you're just looking around everywhere.
Yeah. You know what, that's exactly right. I don't like to be like everybody else, but there's bang on. I didn't really think about anything else but what was the immediate experience. And maybe that's the way a lot of people in Sydney approach life. Perhaps there's not a great deal of thinking or even overthinking going on, but a whole lot of living instead. Life here is so good, you can't blame them for making the most of it. So you're going to take off now, Silvio.
Yep.
And I'm guessing that leaves me to clear up the barbecue, is that right?
That's your job, mate, to clean the barbecue.
Thank you.
You've got to do something today.